That's been a good one. Loki says hello. Where's Loki at? Yeah. He's right there chewing on a ball, having a good time. But anyway, a lot of good stuff happened over the last 24 hours, or over the last 48 hours since we talked. I don't think we've talked since Saturday night. Super Bowl was a big... it was actually pretty boring in the first half, but the second half was much more interesting. That was a good time. And then coming into this morning, we saw Bitcoin break out, go to 50,000. Right now, it's a little bit above it at 50,125, and you're seeing the start of another rally, perhaps. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And on top of that, altcoins still not making so large moves. I think they're moving right now, so that's a good thing. But I don't think we've seen as many altcoins as we wanted to just pop off, so that's going to be another big topic here. And hey, Sin, happy to see you back, man. Going to be probably a longer stream for tonight. I even made sure to bring my tea here, nice and toasty warm. Not necessarily hot, because you can't have hot tea in this type of container, but it's warm and toasty. It's orange and spicy. It'll be pretty tasty here. Anything else here I need to talk to you guys about? Oh yeah, a couple things. So going forward with the channel, I know I told you guys some stuff over the past few days about how I'm going to try to move this stuff around. A couple things I'm going to be doing is, you guys know one of the sponsors of this channel is Opus Clip. You guys may not use them. They're really for podcasters and people that like to make videos and content, but I've been working with them for a long time, and they finally did a new update here where basically, you guys know how I have longer streams of 1 hour and 2 hour streams, sometimes 3 hours, sometimes only half an hour. The times kind of vary widely. Well, what I'm going to be doing here over the next few weeks is basically, after I'm done with this stream, it's going to process for a little bit of time, and that stream is going to turn into a 4K stream. Once it's done processing on YouTube's end, because I'm still streaming, it's not like it's the same quality. Once it's done processing, I'm going to upload it to Opus Clip, and Opus Clip is going to cut it up into maybe 3 to 5 minute segments. I can even go longer, I think. And then I'm going to repost those, so you guys don't necessarily have to come to this main video all the time and look over everything. You guys can kind of find the 5 minutes videos that you like or you want to watch. I'll be posting those as well, okay? Alright, so, hey Pablo, happy to see you back, man. One Up, Wilder Studios, Trav, and George, happy to see all of you guys here. Let me see. I was going to smoke a cigar tonight, but then I realized I smoked like 4 cigars yesterday, which is like way too much, because I was at the cigar lounge while at watching the Super Bowl game. So let me go over here to this one. There we go. Still working? Okay. I had to move some stuff around. I'm gonna change up this thing eventually here, and then I got another monitor for recording. I'm doing a whole bunch of new stuff this week, so get ready for different videos, different content, a whole bunch of cool stuff here. I'm hoping that the first new strategy video should come out sometime on Thursday if I'm lucky. I think it's going to be a strategy based on the anchored VWAP and how to improve upon it beyond the base strategy of just using the 3 separate lines basically, and kind of going off of that middle line as a level of support. Don't worry about it now if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's perfectly fine. But I will be doing some more tutorials there. Now, going over here to Bitcoin, things are looking pretty good. As we talked about here a few seconds ago, Bitcoin did break out, and we just made a relatively, I think, close to new high here a few seconds ago. Yeah, we did. Just about 15 minutes ago. Things looking pretty good. About a half an hour ago, I would say now. Maybe, yeah, around a half an hour ago. Had this new high here. Things are still looking good. It looks like we're trying to consolidate a little bit more. The chart that I've been looking at primarily for the last few hours has just been the 1 hour chart. You can see how we're consolidating. We managed to just break out here. So I'm thinking that maybe we have an opportunity to continue breaking out over the next few hours here. Daily chart. Nice breakout. Nothing more to see here. What I think is interesting right now is you see stuff like Ethereum also testing out those same levels of resistance. Over to the weekly chart here. Now Ethereum is trying to get a boost. Ethereum hasn't broken out, I don't think, just yet. Let me go over here to the daily chart. Not yet, but it's pretty close to breaking out above the high it had all the way back over here in January 12th. It's making its way. We've been waiting for Ethereum to make a big move, and it was actually today that it happened. Very surprising that it's finally making its way back up here to like this cycle highs, just like Bitcoin. Other altcoins, it's been a mixed story here, right? I would say it's been a mixed story. You got ADA. ADA looks like it could pop off today. But, you know, it's been kind of grinding for the last few days after that initial breakout over the 50-day moving average. Dogecoin right here, breaking above the 50-day moving average. This thing looks like it could also pop off here today. I'm kind of curious to see what exactly happens, but you can see that a lot of altcoins are at that spot where, okay, like we broke out, but we necessarily haven't had a surge. And there are a few that have had surges, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot that have not at the same time. AMP, still sideways. Ape token, again, it looks like it could break out above this level of resistance right here and start going back up to 160 or something. That'd be a good play, but it's not there yet. Arbitrum right now, same type of concept. Breakout structure here, another breakout structure here, whatever you want to call it. And basically, it's looking like it wants to take a surge up here to 220. That could be a good play. That's probably like a 4 or 5% upgrade here. AXS getting rejected by the 50. We'll see what happens here, but I was hoping it would actually be a little more bullish by now. But again, most stuff is doing okay or looking like it wants to break out. Stuff like Solana, level of resistance, hoping to break out. Excuse me. If it's able, that'll be a good thing. Now, a few things here, good things. Finally, I know it's kind of hard to see, but we're finally positive again on the long-term, whatever you want to call it, long-term portfolio, basically here. I bought some more AJIX today, and I bought a couple other things here today. We'll see how those go. And then I'm also going to start buying some really small market cap tokens to see where they go with the 2x leverage long-term. As far as those, like, you know, those little swing trades that we were trying to do here, I know I don't have as much money on my BuyFi account, but I was able to, you know, do a couple positions last week just to go off of percentages. The dollar amounts really weren't the big thing because, again, I don't want this account to get, like, you know, kapoof and me lose all my money on it. But basically, the Injective 5x position we did was up to 16%. The Ocean 2x position is up 13%. The NMR, that's one of my favorites with the AI, that one's up 20% with the 10x leverage, so it's really only up 2%. It's not that much. What else? Rune, that one's up 81%. That one was actually down 40% a few days ago. It's really had a comeback here. Ape token is up 11% with a 2x leverage, which is actually pretty good. I've been waiting for Ape token to have a move for a while, but it's still been pretty slow. And then, of course, Matic finally making a move with 10% up, or, you know, 5% basically. Stuff like Matic finally making those surges, and again, heading for some of those levels of resistance. Honestly, right now, you know, I think day trading is the way to go unless you guys are looking for another swing opening. We've talked about different opportunities of when you guys might want to buy Bitcoin and things like that. I think during Saturday's stream, I was telling you guys if you wanted to buy during that consolidation up against resistance, you guys could. But it was just going to have a smart stop loss, and I don't think that stop loss hit for many people, depending on how tight it was. And so, if you guys are already in those swing trades, I don't think you guys really have to do much. I had a contrarian short that I had open just in case we didn't break down. That one got stopped out. But overall, I think I'm up just by a little bit here over the last like 24 hours, which has been pretty nice. But Bitcoin, nice breakout. I'm waiting to see what else can happen to these altcoins. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but I really want to see altcoins have something good happening. You know, here's Fetch AI. This one's doing okay. It had that breakout above 50-day moving average, like a lot of other tokens right now. NMR, we just talked about that one. Had a bit of a surge yesterday. Still doing more sideways action, but we're in a decent spot. Pendle, this one's just been interesting because it's been going up and up and up. I bought more of this today, anticipating that maybe, just maybe, we can actually have a stronger move. And so, you know, a lot of lower market cap tokens that I'm loading up on right now to see what happens next. Theta right here. The heck? Oh, there we go. Up against the level of resistance, hoping we can break out and have a surge back up here to 114, 115 if we're lucky. So you're seeing an opportunity here. You're also seeing stuff like ID token come down. Honestly, I don't care about ID token at the moment. It had a good rally. I'm happy with it. I'm okay if it doesn't keep surging, basically, because to go from 27 cents up to 60 cents, that's a pretty good move. I think it's okay if it consolidates for a little bit after having such a strong move here. Things like Link, still breaking out, a little bit of consolidation, but you did have a few days of breaking out there, even on the 4-hour chart, I think is what we were looking at. Yeah, breakout, buy, still looking pretty good. Even with the daily chart looking kind of more mixed right here on the stochastic. The weekly chart, a little bit more mixed, but I think it turned positive right back here. So there were some opportunities. Although, again, a little bit more of that smaller trade right there rather than this larger one right there. Okay, there we go. So right now, we're watching Bitcoin consolidate a little bit more to see if it will actually take a larger move up over the next 24 hours, basically. The way it looks right now, if I go to the 15-minute chart, I'm not seeing a strong amount of buying pressure to stop us from cooling off just a tad. So I'm expecting us to maybe come back down to maybe 49,874 and start consolidating a little bit more before ultimately trying to make another run up. These runs for the next week or so should be very interesting because whenever this run ends, we're going to have a pretty nasty crash on the other side of it as people just kind of naturally take their profits and freak out. But there are a couple of things really boosting the market right now, and that's the fact that there's so much more inflows going into Bitcoin right now. So basically, people are buying Bitcoin so much that the people that are mining it, they can't keep up, basically. That's an easy way to say it. So Bitcoin's definitely in a hot demand moment, and it kind of reminds us that we should be happy that we own any Bitcoin whatsoever. Let's see. And hey, George, just checked out Soul for you right there. Happy to return to 50K. Yes, sirree. What, hey, Rebecca, Mike and Loki, I'll light one for us both. Burn, go ahead, Sage, teach us. What do you call? Yesterday I had, 2 minutes. I mean, cigars don't normally affect me, like, and get me, like, they don't give me headaches or anything like that, but, like, I had 4 cigars. I had I forgot the first name of it. I had a couple of good Cuban cigars, and then I had a rare pink, Fuente, which is really good. What's that small one I had? I had one that's like that small, but it's like that massive. It was really good flow, so it wasn't bad. But yeah, they're pretty good cigars. The game was pretty fun to watch. I was happy the Chiefs won. I think a lot of people were probably rooting for the 49ers. I'm not entirely sure, but usually just up here in Seattle, Washington State area, we're Seahawks people, so we typically don't want the 49ers to win. And plus, at the specific bar I was at, I have to say, there were some very annoying 49ers fans there all season, and they were very, I don't care if you're a 49ers fan, honestly, obnoxious fans. Obnoxious, like, annoyingly obnoxious about everything that would happen. And so I was very happy to see them in despair when Patrick Mahomes threw that last touchdown. I didn't even care about Taylor Swift at that moment. I was just like, oh my God, those people will finally shut up and I can get back to my peace and quiet because the football season is over. Another great earnings report. WM Waste Management is going wild. I think I only have that in my long-term portfolio. I don't even know if I have that in any short-term ones. I'm glad it's doing well though, because they should be making money depending on how everything is doing right now. What's right here? And I tell you, if you guys can, please make sure to like and comment. It always helps out the stream quite a bit. I pretty much just made it a new rule that basically when the stream starts to die down, that means everybody knows what they want. They got all the information they want. I can kind of end the stream off on a good note. Let's see. Check out Magic. Do I have Magic on my watch list here? Is there? I've looked up Magic before, or I've owned some. Do I own Magic on here? No, meme. Okay. I was just checking to see if I had it or not. All right, Magic Tether. And you said you opened a position at 125. It looks like 126. All right. We have looked at this before, but let's go back over here very fast. All right, so so far today it looks like it's been doing pretty good, or this week I should say, because we're looking at the weekly chart here. You're looking at a golden cross, which is going to be pretty nice in the weekly charts. Now, kind of zooming in a little bit more. Oh, before I forget, you are looking at some resistance starting around 158. We're at 129, 130 now. You're in a pretty good spot. What you're probably thinking about right now is scaling out in different opportunities. You had a pretty clear double top over here. Retest got rejected. Now we're trying to break back above that. With Bitcoin making a move, you should be okay. And right now you're seeing another breakout. Let's see. We do have a bottom here now. Let's go for a shorter time frame here. So let's get the magnets just to be a little bit more precise. All right. Let's go over to the 4-hour chart. There we are. All right. So you have a few levels of resistance coming up. Typically when I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, we're not looking all the way back over here, you know, back in December and whatnot when things were looking pretty bad. This is more of a shorter term breakout play that you're looking at right here, basically. I know it looks pretty bad, but breakout, downward trend ended, sideways trend took over, then we had a change of character and a bunch of buy signals and stuff like that. There you go. That first level of resistance seems to be on 133.88. Honestly, I'd probably, if you bought at 126, I'm of the viewpoint of taking a little bit of profit right now, even though I could probably still keep on going. Go over to the 1-hour chart. Yeah, it's basically, I just like Jesus, what is wrong with me right now? I'm just tired. That's what it is. What do you call it? I like to take profit before these consolidations really get started. It's not like I'm taking 20% or 50%. Like a nice little 10% profit, never hurt anybody. Right now, it looks like just kind of like Bitcoin does. It might want to consolidate a little bit, and maybe you want to move up your stop loss, or maybe where it was over here, maybe around 120. Well, I don't know. It was probably down here around 125 or something. Maybe you can move it up here to 126.29, or maybe just up here to 127. So no matter what happens, you're able to make a profit. Because you are doing okay at this moment in time, it doesn't mean that we can't still break down if something bad happens. It really just depends on how confident you are is going to continue going up. For me, I'm looking at this daily chart. I see we're getting closer to a resistance level, and I think we have an opportunity here sometime today to actually have a stronger move up here to 133. But just in case it doesn't, and we start coming back down here to the 20-day moving average, which is just a little bit close, one of the things we managed to bounce off of, I'd like to have a little bit of a plan B, basically. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Let me go look at the 15-minute chart very fast. Yeah, this looks just like Bitcoin. That trend line right there that's breaking down, leading to a little bit more consolidation. A death cross on the 15-minute chart after stagnating for a little bit. But I don't think it's the end of the road here. I think it's just looking for a consolidation before it makes that next leg up. But typically for me, I like to be consolidating a little bit here. If it can manage to break above 133, 134 over the next, by the end of the day tomorrow, let's say that, I think you have a strong case for this to actually make its way back up here, at least to the halfway point around 139. Maybe not all the way up here towards 143. I don't know how much Bitcoin's going to need to go up before it starts to consolidate on its own. But I do think there's a good option for it to actually get between 134 and 138. That's probably where I would try to be selling the bulk of mine out, unless it manages to go back down to 126 or something like that, where you're like, oh, I don't want to go negative on this position. I'll take some profit now. Then if it does go to 126 and I stop out, I still walked away with some type of profit, basically. Yeah, is Bitcoin doing the same thing right now? Yeah, just a little bit. Nothing crazy. You're just seeing these smaller moves down. I wouldn't call it anything crazy. Let's see. Do you expect a pretty heavy rejection at 69K all-time high? It depends on when we get there, but I don't necessarily think so. Let me actually go to the Coinbase one just so we can have more data here. All right, we've officially managed to get over this hump right here. This hump was causing us some grief, not for a while, just because I think Bitcoin has a lot behind it. There's a lot of wind behind those sails, basically. We just managed to break above it. We're really hoping that as far as the weekly charts go on, we're not going to be closing down below $50,000. That would kind of be like, uh-oh, maybe we are getting rejected this week and we just had one high points before we go down, which that would suck. Now, if we do start getting back up here to $69,000 and whatnot, I expect us to maybe face some type of rejection, some type of resistance. But I don't necessarily think it's going to be some type of move where, it's a hard 40 or hard 30% rejection. Sometimes after we hit these levels of resistance from, maybe it's better to do this. When we start hitting old levels of resistance, we get these types of rejections. All right, going off the top of this body, wick, whatever. Sometimes we get those ones. I don't think we're going to have that necessarily for like months and months and months, unless that were to happen sometime over the next like a couple weeks or so, which I don't think we're shooting straight up here. Although, you know, crazier things have happened, I guess. I think once the Bitcoin inflows and outflows kind of stabilize a little bit when it comes to all this Bitcoin spot ETF stuff, I think we'll be in a little bit better position. But I would hope that we get up here and we can consolidate a little bit more before making a larger move. But I don't necessarily think we're going to be looking at a move like this where we come down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, 6 months maybe. COVID kind of skews everything here, as you might imagine. But I expect some resistance, but I don't expect some type of total beatdown. If that, you know, worst thing I think on the monthly chart is that we somehow, over the next, you know, few months, you know, quarters basically, we break out here, we consolidate. This consolidation, I'm perfectly fine with that. There's a lot of weird economic data that has to come out, a lot of weird stuff with the halving and things like that. My fear is that we just break down here. That's my big fear. Really, really big fear. Just because, you know, the way the economy is working right now, it could really mess up with the bull market. But my hope is that we just do this little squiggle, right? And then, you know, by June or something, April maybe, we're popping off. That's my really happy prediction. If, you know, since we are breaking right now, I know we're going to be facing some levels, but geez, there you go. Got a few Fibonacci levels I think we can use. Okay, we're reaching our one target right here. Typically, you know, this is where I'd be saying, oh, I probably want to sell. After that, we have one way up here, 80,000. Let's not talk about 80,000 until we at least break above 60,000. But if I take off the fibs here, it changes up things just a tad. Again, we are heading for a level of resistance, and then right up here, you have the red line right here, the 2.618, and that's around 67,000, a little bit below the all-time highs here. So yeah, I would expect us to see a little bit of resistance, but you've seen, you know, sometimes when we have this resistance, we break out within the same month, but, you know, on a week-to-week or day-to-day basis, sometimes we can be dealing with a little bit of resistance before we actually have those larger breakouts here. And then, of course, when we do break out, it can be a pretty magical thing. But again, we are heading for a pretty decent level of resistance coming up. So, you know, I'm waiting to kind of see what happens here on both of them. One is just fibs, one is not. Typically, if you just want to do it, you can just turn off log and it'll kind of adjust everything for you. But for me, what I would say to do here is a couple things. Let's do the weekly chart here very fast. Let's do a couple things. Low, high, low. And then your bubbles based on scale. Oh, I could have done that a better way, but that's okay. You know how when we were looking for opportunities to buy down here and play that catch the falling knife, which was already risky enough, we did something called the cluster method where we're finding, we're putting a bunch of Fibonacci's on the chart. Not a crazy amount, but on those really clear pivot points, we have a pivot high, pivot low from a historical setting. You add those on there, you see like pretty decent areas where we have 4 or 5 Fibonacci levels just kind of right there, really close together. That's what I'm going to be doing here. And it doesn't really take too many because, again, we're looking so long term that doesn't matter all too much. And then what I'm going to do, get rid of that one. We don't have to worry about those ones way back over here. In fact, I don't think any of these are going to really be relevant, are they? No, not unless we're talking about 177,000. Just in case, coming down. 54,000, that kind of matters a little bit more, I would say. Okay, let's go over here to the daily chart. You don't necessarily have to do this, people. This is just something I like to do and check out every now and again to see if there's any clusters available. You really don't see many clusters. I mean, you see a little bit, like, 2 right here, maybe. This line isn't a cluster. Oh, it is actually a cluster right there. What is, not, okay, yeah. A little bit of a cluster right there. This one wasn't, this is why I didn't trust this when I saw it the first time. A little bit of resistance. No. This really isn't giving me all too much information, to be frank. I know there was some, there are some Fibonacci levels of support and resistance, but there's not enough of a zone. It's all, it's all too random. Or not random, but you get what the point I'm trying to make. Go back in time here a little bit. This is one that's been pretty interesting to use over the past few months, but yeah. It's going to be hard getting to $60,000 soon. That's what I would say right now. It's going to be hard to get to $60,000 soon. If we're able to get up to 60,000, I think we have a pretty clear shot up to 65. But again, just getting up to 55,000, 56,000, excuse me, 50,000, 55,000, 60,000. That's going to seem to be a pretty tough thing to do. Not impossible, but it's going to require some bulls to really get us going. Let's just say that. And bulls have been there. This is not retail traders hopping in right here. This is the whales entering the market right there. But I'm hoping we can get another leg here pretty soon. I mean, we're close to having a death cross here. It's not the end of the world, but usually when we're close to having a move down, you might see whales continue the breakout right after we previously had a breakout here. So everything continues going higher and higher. Let's see. ADA. Ooh, well, ADA looks just like Bitcoin, doesn't it? Had the breakout, looks fine. It looks like it's trying to just surge back up here to 61 cents. This one, I mean, the Fibonacci levels, I don't like them using them too much with ADA, to be frank. But you can see right up here, 57 cents, is that going to be that level of resistance? 62, that's pretty reasonable when you see everything above what you're looking at there. But 57 cents, short term though. This is a little bit of short-term consolidation there. Let me pop this open. Where is... not what I was looking for. Pivot. Oh, let's go off it here. And of course I messed up there, but that's okay. Where's my angle line? Oh yeah, there's not much stopping this at this point. I was just going to see if there was a Gantt or anything in there besides just the Fibonacci levels, but zoom in here, daily, there's going to be a golden cross here pretty soon. You're basically playing the next big surge. Once it starts getting up to 60 cents, though, which is about 4 cents above where it is now, so not the largest move, but a good move, you are going to see it try to cool off a little bit. Not necessarily burning down, but just going sideways for maybe 2 to 3 days before ultimately trying to make that next move up. If Bitcoin can continue this grind on, for sure, this is going to have a nice move here. Hopefully it can have a pretty drastic move. There are a few times where ADA has some really solid moves for day traders, but typically they've been pretty muted over the past few weeks. What's a good amount of Bitcoin to hold long term? Most of us can't get a whole coin. I just think whatever you can put in. Honestly, I own a few Bitcoin, but I stopped caring about how many I own. I just buy a little bit here and there. Let's say your income and budget allows you to put in about $200 a month into crypto. I'd be putting about $50 of that into cryptocurrency. The rest into other coins like Ethereum, Solana, ADA, Dogecoin, whatever you want to. You don't have to do Dogecoin. You don't have to put in an ADA or whatever. But just tokens that you like and that you've done your research on, just pop in some in there. Typically, the way you have to think about a lot of these cryptocurrency investments and things over the years is, what are going to get, what are going to get institutional approval, like a Bitcoin spot ETF, and Ethereum spot ETF, things like that, XRP, whatever. And then once you kind of figure that out, toss some money into those ones because they're going to have a better chance of surviving it for the long term. After you start going down that path, though, you have to realize one of the things that's going to make Bitcoin so valuable isn't necessarily that Bitcoin is going to like just shoot up to $1 million or something over the next 10 years. It's that because America can't stop spending and will keep on printing out so much money, the value of the dollar is going to go down so much that you can just kind of keep on assuming that Bitcoin is going to have more value against the dollar. So, whatever you can put in there is going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it too much. If you can, try to aim for a token. But, when I think about, let me try to get a whole nother token of Bitcoin, I'm not necessarily thinking that during this kind of bullish move. I'm thinking about maybe one day I can afford, I'll have a whole Bitcoin, or it's going to be in the bear market when everything is crashing down and I'm saying, okay, Bitcoin's at $30,000, $16,000, $17,000. Now I'll try to make a play to have one Bitcoin. But typically that's hard, which is why I just say dollar cost average and you'll be okay. You will also see people, let's say you made a killing on Bonk. I don't know, Bonk's one of those tokens that went crazy over the past few months. Let's say you made like $10,000 off of Bonk. You could literally sell the Bonk for USDT and put all that money into Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin was at like $30,000 and not 40, 50 or whatever, or $15,000, $16,000, $17,000. You could still do that. I've seen a lot of people do that. All they do is trade to add more to their Bitcoin because they like to have Bitcoin as their neutral value. Or you see people that trade against Bitcoin, and that's another way you can, get your money up there. But for me, I don't think about it too much as just trying to own a Bitcoin. Really just focus on adding, buying as much crypto as your budget allows. Don't go crazy with it because we've all heard the stories there. But just what your budget allows, buy it, save it. You can, you have your long-term portfolio, you have your cycle portfolio, and then you have your day trading and swing trading portfolios. So, maybe as you make money day trading, 10% you put it into 10% of your profit you put it into Bitcoin. The rest of it you kind of grow your portfolio so you can make more money over time. So your money is working for you more and more. When it comes to swing trades, same thing. Just put a portion of it away for you. Makes it nice and easy. When it comes to cycle trades, you pretty much sell the majority of your crypto within a 1 month period after spending months and months and months loading up all of it. And so once you sell and you see all your profit, you will usually take a good chunk of that, and typically you're going to treat yourself and buy something nice for yourself to kind of reward yourself for all the hard work and effort you put into just holding and not selling and not panicking at crucial times when a lot of people did. And then from there, you could always put some of that money into Bitcoin as well. And then for that long-term portfolio, you just, you never touch it except for to add more Bitcoin in. And those ones are usually on cold storage wallets and stuff like that. But just owning a little bit, it'll take you a long way in the future. I don't think you necessarily need to even own one Bitcoin. I think what you need to do is just own enough crypto in totality. But owning Bitcoin is a good place to start when it comes to buying crypto. Do I hold a lot of names in portfolio? I'm trying to reduce mine, but it's hard. Let's see. What do you mean by do I hold a lot of names in portfolio? I'm trying to reduce mine, but it's hard. Do you mean do I have like a large portfolio for what? Because my portfolio is usually very large. Like when I think of my portfolios, depending on like what type of account I'm using and how long I want to hold it, it kind of feels like a small ETF at times. Where you could have up to like 50 positions going at once. You can add more, and I've seen people do a lot more, but honestly, it's kind of very hard to keep track of everything. So typically I'll check maybe 2 positions a week and just kind of see how they're going quarter by quarter. And then if there's alerts that come up like, oh yeah, there's the price of this asset went down here. Oh, this is a breaking news type of thing. I'll look at it. Rarely do I care. And again, this is somebody that has things like, what's that? you know, this is somebody who's been holding Lucid for a while. Probably should have sold, holding it for years, waiting to see what happens with it. But again, you know, it was $1,000 investment. That $1,000 is probably, oh, let me see. I don't even know. Start buying around here. Yeah, so it's down about 80%. Sound a lot. So, what do you call it? Sometimes I just kind of keep hope on and see what happens. Other times I just sell really quickly. But when it's techie like this with something that could go big, I tend to let it ride. If it's something like a healthcare stock, which I kind of just trading the ranges and things like that, typically I'll sell it just because I have a certain plan there. But you know, you got to stick to those plans whether you like it or not. Sometimes some of my oil stocks aren't doing as hot as I want to, so I think I've taken a little bit of Schlumberger out. I guess it's not really never been my largest oil play, but I still started taking some money out of it. I reallocated it to PXD. Schlumberger, there we go. All right, so not terrible. It's not like it's like a really terrible thing. But I took about like I think a quarter of my position, half my position, pretty much out of this, and allocated it back over here to PXD, and hoping that this consolidation could lead to another rally here, because I still think oil is going to be good. At least here I'm hoping. Plus the dividends are, you know, always nice. And then of course Oxy. I'm not entirely sure if I want to put more money into this one because it's kind of at the support level here. But you never know. Heck, you know, at the heart of every good ETF, there's Visa. That's my motto. There we go. $5, 10, 25%. What sounds good? Usually for me, well, it depends on what you're asking it for. I see what you're saying. I don't know, probably 25%. I think you should 25% of your portfolio when you're just starting out should be Bitcoin. It offers a level of stability. So like when I was doing this one for you and I was buying up stuff, when it came to this long-term portfolio to kind of just practice with, teach you guys how it can go from negative to positive, back to negative, and eventually, hopefully, you know, months from now, we're looking at thousands of dollars profit. That's the goal here. Right now, we're at 169. You know, it's nice, but it's not, you know, it's not what we're looking for holding for a long time. But what it does is it allows you to have a little bit of stability. Like right here, my Bitcoin, it's only up 24%, but the value is up $78. I tend to buy this as much as I can when I do my little weekly things. I don't know. Because I originally started buying this back in October down here, right? Then I accidentally sold it because I hit this button. Don't ever hit this button, guys. It's called close all positions. Don't click that. I understand why it's there for market crashes and stuff. But yeah. And then so I think I restarted loading up over here somewhere like really late because let's see. Because when do I buy Bitcoin last time? Yeah, so I started reloading up over here. Yeah, right over here. So it's doing fine. Don't get me wrong, but I should probably buy more. This is what is Bitcoin's 2x. Boobity boobity boo. We can do. I don't like to buy at highs like this, so I'll just do $50 added onto it. Oh, yeah. I just said I wanted to buy 50 Bitcoin. Yeah, I am not buying 50 Bitcoin there. Okay, then let's go. Oh my god, if I got Bitcoin so high now, that's messing with the minimum buy-ins you can do. There we go, $100. Okay, good enough. Alright. Oh yeah, I've been moving my averages up, I guess, by continuing to buy, but oh yeah, dollar cost averages will move up your averages. But it's not a bad thing. You're just accumulating more. Lots of folks are predicting drop to Bitcoin low mid-30s this spring. I think before having, by the way, you don't pronounce the L. Oh, with this rise, do you see a drop with these levels? Oh, I always call it the halving, or the halving. I think it's so much more fun. What do you call, well, yeah, so, okay. So a few weeks ago, I was telling you guys that I thought that this drop right here would lead to that, like, you know, $35,000, $36,000 mark. And I would say, okay, if we're going to drop down below 37, 36,000, we're going to have to see if we can truly break down below the 20-week moving average right there. We never came close to that 20-week moving average. We boomed, and then, here we are. So I don't necessarily know if we're going to have that full crash back down. Now maybe all we're going to go back down to is maybe the 40,000s, like the low 40,000s or so. I'm going to be watching pretty closely the technical analysis here, just from watching this kind of wild swing out of nowhere because of the spot Bitcoin ETF and everything that kind of followed it. It's led us to some really weird spots. However, what we were just talking about a few minutes ago was there's a big level of hidden resistance right around here on 55,000 to 60,000. That's going to be the hard thing for us to do, to break into. But if you really want to have that big warning sign that something bad could potentially happen, is just kind of wait to see what happens as the 20-week moving average approaches the price action. We are pretty far away from that now after 2 good weeks of just popping off. But, normally, if I were to get rid of some of these other things here, normally when we break down below these things, it's a pretty drastic event unless we're looking at some type of support level. We'll see what type of support level we have. You can imagine this line going over here. I just don't know why I can't get it there like that. That could be the only thing that stops it. But typically, we like to have some pretty drastic moves down. This one, don't look at it. Just ignore it. It's just because it was FTX. There's nothing we can do. But typically around this 20, we are going to see some really good amounts of volatility. So, we might break down below it. It could be pretty bad for a couple weeks. But then when we manage to break back above it, we're still going to be looking at a really good move following it. However, we're not even close to it right now. I mean, it's chasing so hard, but it's not having any luck there. There we go. What do you think about Doge? My accumulation is done. Dogecoin is basically a hold and wait type of thing. LMX, I don't know too much about LMX. Let me know what you want to do about it. What about it? Hey, evening, GT. Happy to see you back. Let's see. When Bitcoin goes to its all-time high, do you think it will correct and consolidate? I think it should consolidate. I don't think it'll necessarily have a massive correction, but a good consolidation never hurt Bitcoin. Usually after those consolidations, we like to have some really large moves. The big thing here is the economy still going to be good in about 4 or 5 months? Right now, it looks like it will be. Jerome Powell is not cutting rates, but I mean, we zoom out here to the NASDAQ. We're at all-time highs, pretty good. This is a money printing AI rally. It's a pretty crazy sight. So you have the government printing lots of money, and maybe I should show you this. Yes, debt trading. I like to show you guys this chart every now and again. Is this it? Yeah, U.S. debt. We've kind of been going crazy since COVID, and I thought maybe after COVID we would learn our lesson and not keep on spending as much money. Nah, we just kept it going. So what you're seeing is a lot of money being printed, us going into more and more debt. The dollar, as you guys might have known from inflation, has become worth a lot less. It takes a lot more U.S. dollar to buy a McDonald's Happy Meal, Big Mac, Taco Bell meal, Wendy's meal, milk, eggs, bread. We've all heard it before. There's been a lot of people upset about it. So, it cut a lot of that. Price has gone up, but when you're looking at the market, prices are going up, sure, but companies are making more money because they can charge more because everything costs more. They're still making more revenue. Some companies aren't making as much revenue as before, so you could always go over here to something like an Apple. Do I have the earnings report on here, or does it show the revenue? I don't know if this will show it to you. Like from 2022 to 2023, iPhone revenue is down, which is kind of crazy if you think about it here, right? Services, though, those are up. Wearables, down. Mac, down. iPad, it's down, but only by a little bit. But, you know, look at Apple. It's, you know, it's still doing fine. It's still managed to have a great rally. Right now it's just consolidating. It's almost had a breakdown here. But, you know, it doesn't really matter at this point. Everybody's kind of just looking for places to put their money because everybody's had their money all holed up while we were waiting for rates to change a little bit. And I think rates have been coming down quite a bit. You go over here to the dollar index, you know, we're way off the highs over here. We're closer to the lows, trying to see what happens next, and we're kind of just moving up bit by bit. And the market hasn't really cared about us moving higher and higher, which is kind of crazy. I'm wondering which one is going to break first. Even oil here is still trying to go more sideways before it decides, hey, maybe we will break out. I don't know if I haven't been hearing about much other stuff happening in the Middle East and oil and wars and stuff. I think Israel's about to do something. They're about to invade some city in Gaza. Maybe there'll be some backlash in the Middle East over that, but I haven't heard of anything that's going to make oil prices necessarily spike like crazy like they did a few weeks ago. Let's see. Do you believe it's better to do scalping or daily trading max to 2-3 days than keep general tokens? Thank you. Wait. So, do you believe it's better to do scalping or daily trading max 2 to 3 days than to keep general tokens? So I think it's better to do general coin spot holding for a cycle, so you kind of buy them when everything is really nasty and bad. Greed index is although way low, or the fear index is high. Excuse me. The fear greed index is very pointed towards greed. Now, typically from that, what you're going to do is load up on the coins you want, and that's going to be one of your portfolios. A separate portfolio is going to be for day trading and scalping. Typically, I keep them separate, and I prefer to have both because you're not always looking. You might not always have a good outcome when you do day trading and scalping, unless you have a consistent win rate. If you buy low and sell high, but you have to wait like a year for it to happen or 2 years for it to happen, it's not going to be as pleasant as making a lot of money very quickly while day trading. However, you're pretty confident that you're going to make money by holding Bitcoin, holding Ethereum, holding whatever coins you choose. Day trading can be profitable, but not everybody is profitable at day trading. So you might see that, your long-term portfolio does great, but your day trading portfolio dries up because you just weren't able to make a good amount of money. Typically, if you want to help that out, I would say swing trading is definitely a good way to go. I know a lot of influencers who have different types of accounts for different reasons. You'll see influencers who they will say they did some type of crazy day trade or something like that, or or a swing trade, whatever. But typically they just buy when everything's really, really bad, and they just keep those positions open for so long that eventually when everything is green, they can say, oh, look at me, I'm making a bunch of money now, things like that. When typically that's going to happen if you guys just buy and wait. It's not going to be so much of, oh, I saw this breakout and bought, dollar cost averaging, you're just buying whenever, basically. But I prefer to have both. I don't think you need to have one over the other. Scalping is probably the most risky for a lot of people out there, because if they don't have enough money, typically they'll rely too much on leverage, and that leverage will end up chewing up all of your profits. So you may actually have a really good winning trade, but because the fees were so high, because your leverage was so high, you realize that you ended up losing money there. Is Neo a buy at current levels? Monthly MACD looks like we could flip soon. Neo for me has been more of a dollar cost average, like maybe once every quarter. I really haven't been like crazy about it, right? So I showed you my Lucid chart. Here is another one right here, Neo, right? It's been positive before on the MACD, and you can see what happened. It just nothing really came about it. Once a quarter you can toss some money in here, but it doesn't look like it's been doing too well. The earnings have been mixed, it looks like. The earnings have been mixed over here. Let me drag this up for you very quickly. Mixed earnings over here. Could be better, not terrible. They're still losing money. If they can find a way to get profitable, I think that's when you could be more adamant about buying into them. But right now, I'm just watching my investment slowly go down, but I still have hope that they can turn things around. I really hope the government can institute more green energy credits for EVs. Subsidizing the EV industry will be a huge thing going forward. If they want to really, say that, we're protecting the planet, all that type of stuff. Or they may try to go down the hydrogen route, which will be interesting, but I don't know if anybody's going to buy it or not. Next going Gambit, trolls in the chat mean Bitcoin's going up. I do think that is probably correct. Trolls usually come out quite a bit when everybody's hyped and pumped up about Bitcoin. I think I become numb to trolls because remember when I was doing Dogecoin a couple years ago, there was like a troll every minute, and I don't think the trolls necessarily annoyed me as much as. So, for those of you guys who know, there are these groups out there. Like, so imagine there's a token out there that's very new, edgy, whatever. There are people who will attach themselves to this token. They'll put a lot of money into the token, like maybe for them a lot of money. So it might be $1,000, $5,000, something like that. And then what they'll do is they'll go to they'll make a bunch of fake YouTube accounts, and they'll go to a whole bunch of streamers' chats all at once. Like all of them go to my stream or Tom's stream or Crypto RS stream or BitBoy stream, whatever, and they'll just start saying, "This new coin is the way. This new coin is the way." But then we make the mistakes as influencers saying, "Oh, look at all these bots." They're not actually bots. They're just real humans that made a whole bunch of fake YouTube accounts to spam their token to get people to buy it. It's absolutely wild. They come in these weird waves. That was annoying because it was just such a tricky thing to get around because they had so many accounts. Usually if a bot attacks, it's like maybe, there's maybe like 2 or 3 bots, maybe up to 10 or something like that. But if like 50 to 100 people come rolling through and they're all real accounts and they're all saying, "Look at this new token, it's the future." I'm like, what the fuck? And so we're literally there like, delete, 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 hide. Yeah, it goes crazy. Is Neo a buy? Oh no, I just said that. I thought you were saying, is it a buyout? I was like, I don't think Neo's gonna get bought up by anybody right now. I appreciate your knowledge, bro. Been trading 2 years, finally getting somewhere. Yeah, dude, it's a long process, especially when you have work. It really takes a while, but once you can get to that consistent level, you're pretty much feeling a lot better about yourself, just about what you're going through, and the way forward, basically. But even getting to that consistent part, it's hard because what makes you consistent is a large part of it is knowing when not to trade, and just kind of letting your getting off the computer for a little bit, or whatever trading platform you're looking at. Oh, I see, like halvering, kind of like hodling. Yeah. What do you call it? Remember, I used to work for a company back in the day. I used to do some marketing for them. Hodlet. I wonder if it's still something thing. Hodlet app. Oh, hodl. I had a app. Is that what it's called? No. It's been years, so I don't think it might not even be up anymore. But yeah, it had some type of issues, whatever. The developers were always complaining about something. Because the iPhones last too long now? Yeah, I mean, I have an iPhone. I don't know when I bought this iPhone, but I think it was years ago now. Let me see. I think I go into the software update available, general, about. Yeah, I have an iPhone 12 Pro Max. What are they on right now? I have no idea, but yeah, I only have a 12 Pro. It's nice. I don't really have many problems with it. I do need to get a new phone because it does have one problem with it. I think because if you drop it too much, and I don't have a case on mine, like sometimes, not every time, when I'm texting somebody, it does a whole bunch of phantom types. So it just starts typing in a whole bunch of gibberish when I'm not even touching the screen. So that drives me nuts. That's the only reason I think I need a phone. But I think I might keep this phone and get a new number for all my business stuff. And that one I'll be a Note, Samsung Note or something. But I think that'll be the way to go. I like to have iPhones and Androids. Mostly because, for whatever reason, YouTube has a lot of updates for Android apps, the Android YouTube and Google apps. YouTube Studio apps earlier than they do the Apple ones, because I think Apple has a more stringent update policies, from what I understand from my developer friends. Bullish divergence with the MACD on your current chart. I mean, you're seeing a little bit. We're seeing some higher highs here and some lower highs over here, and lower lows and everything. Really, I would just point you back to the 4-hour chart. You know, we're still looking pretty strong. Of course, we've had a little bit of a downward move here, but that really wasn't too much. Yeah, that wasn't really too much. Whales can come in here and kind of mess with a lot of stuff at this point. But you are expecting this crossover to happen here pretty soon, and that to lead us to another high here. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen over the next half an hour, though, or it might happen over the next 2 hours. But it does look like we're trying to make another leg up here pretty soon. That would take us close to maybe, $50,800 to $51,000. Every $1,000 from here on out is just going to be a small wall. It's whether we have the willpower to keep on going or not. That's going to be the issue here. Yeah, no worries, George. What's right here? Hey, Satoshi. Hey, Marley. Let's see. What about Orn? Is Orn moving? I don't know. I don't have that one on my watch list here. I mean, you are seeing altcoins right now come down, even though Bitcoin's breaking even for the day. Altcoins are coming down just a little bit. Leo's down a little bit. Oh, look at that liquidity. You don't even want to care about that one. Link is coming down a little bit. Loom is coming down just a tad. Let's go over here to CoinMarketCap and just see. Nothing much is moving up over the last hour. Helium is up 2%. Monero is up 1%. But honestly, Monero's come down a lot. We talked about this one here. No, everything's pretty much down. I mean, over the last hour, pretty much stable. Last 24 hours, though, you got Beam is up 14%. Ordi's up, what's that, 15%. C is up 11%. Sats is up 10%. So there are some pretty good moves happening right now. I'd rather be day trading this stuff rather than trying to go in for things like Bitcoin at this point, just because the volatility is there, and I like to get in and out pretty fast. The top 100, or excuse me, the top 100 to 200 here. Yeah, here you got some big ones. Dog with hat. Oh, geez, looks to be fairly new with a $400 million market cap. It's making waves here, but if you guys want to play something that's making waves, you can. Typically, when you see this, though, excuse me. You can find it on quite a few exchanges. So yeah, they did all the work they needed to do. KuCoin, Orca, Bing X, Femex, Kraken, Radium. Yeah. Yep, they're on what they need to be. API 3. This one's been interesting. I bought some of this. It's been doing okay, but I'm curious to see how this works out in the long term. This is one of those things where infrastructure is a valuable place to invest your money in the cryptocurrency world. I even heard, I think today there was Hello token. Yeah, here you go. This is down 7% on the day, which is kind of wild. Oh, what the heck was this chart? Monthly chart? How's it looking? Wow, it's going down. That's interesting. Down 45% of last month. We've been watching this for a little bit of time because they've been trying to create a media around Hello Labs, right? Think of a media platform for cryptocurrency, but oh geez, am I zoomed in quite a bit? Yeah, I'm zoomed at 250%. There you go. Get that. Okay. There you go. Okay, so imagine a cheaper version of Shark Tank. I think it's also filmed in California. The people on this show are probably not going to be anybody that you really know, perhaps. Maybe I can find somebody here. But big thing here is they just did a partnership, I think, with Apple TV. I'm not entirely sure. Do they have a news section? If I go down all the way, Discord, X. Yeah, it's going to be on Apple TV, right? So these people, do they have a picture of the people? I thought they used to have a picture of the people. Moby Media picks up. Moby Media is going to be doing a bunch of crypto ads. Be careful of all these new people. Like, basically, what's happening right now is it's worth the investment to pay an influencer $10,000 on Twitter, $15,000 on Twitter to tweet out a crypto token. Okay, and basically that token will go up for a while, then it'll get rugged hard. So be very careful if even somebody you really trust on Twitter just starts really talking about this one specific token. You can trade it if you want to, as long as you understand the risk. That's all I'm saying. Be very, very careful. You're going to see a lot of these Twitter accounts start to really pump out tokens a lot. And we don't have regulation on this as much as well. So just understand you're going to see a lot of accounts you thought you knew start pumping out shit tokens, and they're making like $15,000, $10,000 for just that one post. So you can kind of understand what's going on in their head. But at the same time, it's meant for you to buy the token, and you're going to be the one losing money, not them. They're making the money off of all this, right? But yeah, so just understand that, okay? Now, I don't know about us. There you go. Here's some people, right? Here's all these people. You might know some of them. No, these aren't even the whales. These are just people that work at Hello Labs. Anyway, not the most important thing. Basically, there is some progress going on right now, and I guess Web3 Entertainment. They got different episodes that you guys can watch and stuff like that. Maybe you guys like it. Maybe you guys don't. I think you guys will see soon enough. But even if you don't like it or you do like it, I think it's good for the industry to have more media exposure here going forward. Please, I hope we have more. I don't know. I wish it was something that wasn't Shark Tank related, but heck, it is what it is. It looks like Ran Wendio. Yeah, Wendio's in it. I don't know Wendio too much. I've talked to her a few times on Telegram and some group chats. But I don't know what she necessarily. I think she talks about news. Is right? Oh, Crypto Wendio. Okay. Oop, my bad. Insane SC market tracker, why you should be concerned. 12,500% gains with this new crypto. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's that time of the year. Watch out, Ethereum is a security according to Prometheum. Expose SEC new crypto rules. So, I would just say mostly just news. News, I think that's probably the best way to go about it. A lot of news. I'm going to start doing more news here pretty soon. I'm pretty excited about it. But I've had to create a new platform for it. So basically, I can't show you it here because it would mess up my normal streaming software. Like I have this streaming software right here. Below, what I just showed you guys was Streamlab OBS. Streamlabs. I also have a regular OBS software, and that's when I'll be doing my recordings from now on. And that's going to be more in that other, it's going to look more like this, but I would say better, where my face is smaller, the daily sponsor is much smaller, and the window, which we're going to be looking at all these news articles, is going to be much larger, and there's not going to be this top Michael W. Crypto or the subscribe button. So I'm thinking that'll work out pretty well. But that'll start tomorrow morning, because I'm hoping to put a lot more news videos. Even if I don't get as many views, I think the news videos are something I can easily do consistently, because they take me like 15 minutes to make. So, as long as I read an article, every morning I take Loki outside to use the bathroom. Pretty much while he's outside for 10 minutes having fun time using the bathroom, whatever. I'll be outside with him underneath my shed getting rained on and reading some news articles, and then from there go inside and then make a video about them. Let's see. Thoughts on Pepe? I don't think we've talked about Pepe in ages. I don't have no idea how it's been doing. I saw that there was another token that was promoted today. I think. Was it Moby Media? Is that how you pronounce Moby Media? No. They just had him here. Oh, Moby, not Molby. Molby. Did they just promote? Oh, here it is. Yeah. Oh, see, this is an ad. Yeah. See, they just promoted this one. Baba token sold. The resilient sibling of Pepe and hashtag Baba steps out out to outshine Pepe. Right. Think of Sheeb and Dogecoin here, but they got paid who knows how much money to do this. My point being, just again, be forewarned. That's what I was thinking about when I was talking about Pepe. That's why I brought it up a memory here. But basically, we've had a pretty drastic move down. The weekly chart still looks like it may be looking at a lower high in the scheme of things. However, let's go over here to the daily chart, looking at a little bit of resistance around that 50-day moving average. Oh, yeah, you're getting a little bit of a squeeze effect here. Okay, liquidity is kind of an issue here. It just kind of looks weird, I guess, because we're talking about 0.00000, and I think it's just kind of breaking breaking what TradingView is able to show us, frankly. But anyway, you can see when there is volatility, it has some pretty good moves. Okay, dude. Loki's over here, one pets. Yeah, you gotta wait, okay? Go take a bath? What, bath? Come on, let's take a bath. Yeah. No, he's running away after that. But basically trying to have a breakout was rejected a few minutes ago. Doesn't look like it's the end of the world here, of course. However, this is probably going to be your next big loading zone before you try to make a move up here towards 128. I'm just going to tell you the last few numbers. 128. On the 4-hour chart here, I would actually expect it to pretty easily break above the 119 level and start moving up a little bit more. If I can show you where it be. Now that we actually have a low, there we go. See how we're getting rejected from that? I would just say it's kind of a mix there. We can skip right over here, and right up here we have that little bit of extra resistance. You might even say it's actually a little bit above this, actually. But really, 127 to 13, it's pretty close together. That's why I would look to start scaling out if you have the opportunity. Right now, it just seems like a loading zone before you try to really take a surge and close above this. I hate saying these numbers, but just a bunch of zeros in 112. After that, you should be in a much better spot. Just be aware of, Bitcoin's consolidating. You might see this chart coming back down here to 106, maybe even as far as 104, and then, then it might have that surge. But right now, it's just entering a consolidation period. That's going to be going to take a little bit of time, but I would anticipate you're probably going to have a good amount of time to buy some in case you want to wait for a better price. Even right now, yeah, Bitcoin's coming down a little bit right now as well. See, Scary Moochie too. Yeah, Scary Moochie. I don't know what that guy knows about crypto, but he's good at marketing, so he's able to get on a show like that. Undio, Aaron Arnold, media entrepreneur. I don't know. Crypto is an ego-fueled industry. But you know what? If you can back it up, I think you're fine. I mean, maybe when Bitcoin hits all-time highs again, I'll put on some type of fake persona. Or maybe I'll do it for April Fools. There we go. And I'll be a crypto bro for just a day, and I'll wear sunglasses and everything. One of my friends says I need to have more sunglasses besides my normal ones. My normal ones are either gold or silver and then just black. One of my friends says I need to have some rose-colored sunglasses. And I'm like, they're not my thing, but I'd wear them just to have fun with it. Mostly news and some TA. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Pablo. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's what we're doing here pretty soon. I'm going to be doing a lot of news. TA, I do with the streams. I've just given up on making TA videos. I do little updates on the Telegram when I think I need to. But really, news, I think, is something I can do a lot, and people will kind of, it's news. The algorithm should hopefully promote it more. Hopefully, we'll see. But again, it'll be like one news article talking about something for maybe 5 to 10 minutes and just, giving you the gist of it so you guys know what's coming. I think that'd be good. GRDI Bitcoin miner that just went public. I don't know anything about the company, but let me see. Doesn't look like it's doing too good, even though Bitcoin's doing great. I don't know. It's not doing great. I'll tell you that now. It's about to break down and go to new lows all over again. Grid is a purpose-built American-based infrastructure company operating Bitcoin mining facilities since 2019, utilizing low-cost, low-carbon energy. Grid has built long-term power relationships, securing affordable, reliable, environmentally responsible power, enabling a vertically integrated self-mining business model that can thrive across all market cycles and power pipelines. Oh, and a power pipeline, excuse me, with significant growth opportunities. Okay. I see what they're trying to do. Okay, 8K report should be okay. Wait, what? That's it? Okay, here we go. Pound in 2018. Okay, so pretty much everything we just read there in a different statement. Just showing that, hey, we're here, come buy us, we're looking for people to buy us. Looks like they're having some trouble so far. They should pick up as long as they're making money. The volume is pretty low at 691,000, very, very low. Let me... That's not what I'm looking for. Invis. Any news from it? No news, no nothing. They got something from February 6th. Add new 60 megawatt with new Bitcoin facility in Texas. Yeah, begin trading. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's doing too good though. Not at all. So, you can be a reluctant buyer, but I wouldn't be jumping in this, wholeheartedly, excuse me. It seems that even though Bitcoin's making some nice moves, this is still finding a way to struggle. And that might just be because there's probably some worries about what happens with their earnings and things like that. So, now I don't know when they have their earnings. It should probably be, soon enough. And then you could buy after that. But you might as well buy a little bit before their earnings report. This is probably a long-term bet for a lot of people out there. But, I wouldn't go all in, basically. I would just steadily buy a little bit here until maybe you have a couple $100 worth. And then from there you can see. I don't even see a market capitalization on this just yet. Yeah, it's 179 million market cap. You don't have to buy a lot in order to make some good money here. So, a couple $100 if you really want to go into it, but it doesn't look like it's doing too bright at the present here. Let's see. Yeah, no worries, New. Happy to help you out. And yes, I can look up target for you very fast. Let's do technicals and fundamentals. That way we just have an idea of what's been going on here. All right. So Target had a breakout 3 weeks ago, or you can say 2 weeks ago, basically, and it's been moving higher ever since. It looks like it's trying to make its way back up here to 165 or so, which is pretty impressive, considering it was, in November, it was all the way down at $108. When it comes to places like Target, typically they're in a little bit of a crisis because of people not going to the malls as much, people online shopping, that type of old stuff we've been hearing about a lot. I think Target's been doing a good job as far as getting people to download the Target app and buy stuff online and do mobile. They've been good at adapting their client base to that. Now, when you look at something like a Macy's here, though, right? Same thing, a little bit different results in the real world, but still the stock is doing a pretty general same type of move. Let me go right here. There we go. So I expect them to still struggle over the next few years, but as far as trades are concerned, they're in a good spot right now. Target's better. Now going over to fundamentals, I drew it down very fast. Let me put this down here. Let me get rid of everything up here so I can just kind of refresh everything. Target earnings report. So this is from third quarter of last year. I guess they haven't had earnings yet. Do they just not have the PDF? There we go. Let's take a quick peek over here. All right, how are they doing? Oh, they went down a little bit. That's interesting. Okay. Other revenue is up just a little bit, but their sales were down just a tad in the last 9 months. All right, that's not terrible. Total revenue, let's see, down a little bit as well. Both for the last 3 months and 9 months. And they were rewarded by this. Now, why? It's because they beat expectations. That's why. Okay. People thought it was going to be a lot worse. That makes sense. Let's see. Oh, the net earnings were up quite a bit. That's what it is right here. Net earnings. No. Should one up. Where did the value come from, though? So not seeing a huge jump in any of these numbers. A lot less stuff was stolen. They must have different security, or cops are helping them out. Okay, let me go down here. Oh. I'm not finding out. So it was a surprise. That's what's going on right now. They're doing better than expected, but I would argue that the whole economy is doing better than expected, right? Let me go over here to actually, let's go over to SEC filings. Oh, here it is. Oh, it wasn't here a few seconds ago. Okay. 12. I can't read such small words. None of these are PDF, so nope. I guess we can open up Word here. That's the shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, please don't make me. Okay. I'm scrolling. Scrolling. Okay. You're not going to be able to see this as well, and I'm sorry. I always hate having to zoom in on this because I normally know. Oh, there it is. Is that it? Nope. They really do make it difficult. Okay. Merchandise and sales. We record almost all retail store revenues at the point of sale. Digitally originated sales, maybe shipping revenue. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's credit card profit sharing. Yes. No, I'm not finding it. I mean, I could probably find it if I had enough time, but I cannot find out what exactly caused them to have so much higher surprise. Like, what was better than expected beyond just the sales here? No, I can't find it. Normally, when I'm looking at stuff like Target, I would anticipate that they basically just they didn't lose as much money on the sales of goods. So people were going back in there, you know, and spending all their money on all those overpriced Target products a little bit more than expected. And that was much more of a surprise. And their revenue wasn't down as much as they thought. So people were pricing in a lot less revenue. You can see from this earnings over here. Something bad was said, came down to reflect that. All of a sudden, oh, wait, it wasn't really that bad. Oh, then we just came back to where we started, and now we're kind of moving back up a little bit, but not even, you know, not even to like a great level, but still decent level right there. But you get a few good nuggets from there, but not a lot. Like if the economy sours, that'll be one of the first to go down hard, basically. All right. I'm gonna end the stream right here, guys. I gotta go get to sleep and get some dinner in me. The reason for this is I am going to be waking up very early tomorrow for I think we're at inflation data tomorrow, right? Is that tomorrow? Yeah, February 13th, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. That means I gotta wake up at like 5 a.m. my time in order to do that. What I can do for you, Rebecca, is Gala. Yeah, I can look up Gala for you very fast. But after this, I'm gonna call it a night. I am tired. So Gala right now, it's up against that 50-day moving average, and as well as this level of resistance right here. I would say you have a pretty good shot of it hitting up here to 0.0268. But realistically, as Bitcoin tries to consolidate, you might see it hover around here for a little bit of time before ultimately trying to make that larger pop. Right now, it looks like altcoins across the board are taking a little bit of a hit, except for Gala and a few other ones like Solana. So this almost looks like what Bitcoin did over the last few days, last few weeks. You know, as long as it can hold this breakout right here around this 2472 level, I think it's actually a pretty good shot. You do make it up here towards the level we were just talking about. Sorry, daily chart. Yeah, back up here around 0.026. It's a very small move. You know, if you were to buy here and sell here, it's about a move of 6%. But, you know, a 6% move is going to be very nice. I wouldn't anticipate a massive move coming from this today, but still a couple good day trades, a few maybe scalps. That's where I think the opportunity for this play here is for today, okay? So, see everybody again tomorrow. I will be up very early. I'm basically going to see how the morning stream does, and maybe I'll do more morning streams, maybe not. I doubt it. Nobody really ever shows up to the morning streams because I think you guys are an owl audience like myself. But anyway, hope to see you guys tomorrow, and I will be streaming, I think, twice tomorrow. Once in the morning for a little bit, and then once in the afternoon. If I'm too tired, I may skip the one in the afternoon, but hopefully there's something going on that makes me a little bit more excited. We are really, it's going to be very important to see what's happening with inflation. I'm hoping it's going up and